Hello, today is Passion Sunday, and so I'm recording something like a sermon. Today's Gospel passage is the raising of Lazarus, as set out in John's Gospel. And in the story there are lots of characters, and I'm sure somewhere in the midst of those characters is you and me. But what's this story designed to show us? Basically, it tells us how much Jesus loved the people around him. And Jesus is God, so it also tells us how much God loves us. Jesus wept for Lazarus. God often weeps for you and me. It's not easy to accept that we bring tears to the eyes of God. But that's often the case. And he weeps not because he's angry, he weeps because he loves. And he loves us more than we can imagine. But even in this story we have the situation where Mary says, if you'd been here, this wouldn't have happened. Yes, she loves and trusts Jesus, but she's also angry with him and not afraid to say so. In the midst of the situation in which you find yourself now, you may be angry. There may be much more anger waiting in the future as we come to terms with this epidemic, as perhaps for each of us there may be loss of someone we know and love. And it's perfectly all right to do what Mary did. Proclaim your faith, but also speak your anger in your prayer. Because being natural and truthful with God is what really matters. It means that he will help us to grow up into the people we have the potential to be. And he will help us understand in ways that are beyond thinking, so that we can survive and we can grow. At the end of this story, Lazarus emerges from the tomb and is reunited with his family. At the end of these days, we will emerge from the darkness and be reunited with one another. We'll actually be able physically to pray together. And whilst that's a great hope and joy to await us in the future, we have an even greater joy. We have the communion of the saints. We know that time and distance don't separate us. So we are together now in our adversity as we will be together in our joy. This coming week we'll see the funeral of our sister Kath Cross. And physically you won't be able to be there. I will be there on your behalf. But spiritually we will all be there. For we who have known and loved Kath in this world will greet her and love her in the kingdom. Do not doubt that. And even as we hold on to that, I promise you now, we'll have a memorial and thanksgiving service for Kath and for Vicar, whose funeral was last week. They will not be left out of our hearts or our prayers. They will not be left out of our joys and our triumph in Jesus. So please, having listened to this, take some time to read the story of Lazarus in John's Gospel. Take some time to work out who you are in it. Take some time to let its wisdom and its truth touch your heart and give you hope. God bless.